Hello there. Good morning and welcome to Newspaper Headlines Review on our Gate Television. This is a simulcast, and that means you can watch us simultaneously, watch and listen simultaneously, watch us on our Gate Television and listen on our Gate Radio 95.5 Star FM, Makudi. My name is Shido Taka. It's good to have you join us this beautiful morning, and we are going to take a look at what's happening around Nigeria and beyond and talk about it, analyze the issues this morning. Joining me to do that is our regular analyst. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. It's Agate Radio TV1 on Facebook. We are also on YouTube. You can also watch and then on in as well this morning. The headlines to Alia. We also have the story here. Senator Natasha returns to Senate, refuses to stand for Akpabio as a Senate throws out her petition against Senate President. We are not aware of relocation of local government tribunal to Abuja, Benue State government says. And federal government okays 11 new private universities. Decades of bloodshed. Bonta, Upute communities of Benue count losses. And then Ramadan, Muslims arrested for eating in public. Also, there's a story here that says Benue Assembly says it acted on governors later to remove CJ. A banner headline which talks about the security situation in Benue State. We've had so many voices on this, and this time around, Catholic Bishop of Katsina Diocese is speaking. He says, "Who would you govern if all the people I killed?"
Well, we spoke about this last week. His Excellency, His Lordship Bishop Isaac Dugu has not only demonstrated the capacity and the humane disposition of a leader, a religious leader of repute. He has also shown patriotism as a Nigerian and as a Benue son who is worried about what is going on in his state, especially as it affects the Sankara axis of the state where he presides as a Catholic bishop. And commendation that I will give to His Lordship for this clarion call on the state government to sit up and live the true meaning of its oath of protecting the lives. It heightened earlier. I do not expect people to misread, to misinterpret, and he knows that as men, he relates directly with the people at that level, so he knows what is happening. And if he makes that call towards, and I'm happy they are beginning to admit that the people who are attacking and killing Benue people are headers, armed headers, herdsmen militia, and not any other person. Some of us had the opportunity of this, that they are coming, and they indeed come. So if anyone is, remember in 2017, shortly after the Open Grazing Prohibition and Ranches Establishment Law of Benue State was enacted by the Otom administration, the headers under the aegis of Mieti Allah Kauta Hore addressed a press conference and threatened that they were going to ensure that that law did not stand, that that law was not implemented. And they visited Benue State with very, very unfortunate attacks. And so if anyone is trying to, defend, to deny that the headers are not the ones carrying out these attacks in Gwe West, in Gwe East, in Goma, in Katsina Ala, in Logo, in Kwande, in Ukum, then that person really needs to have a rethink.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Because they are the ones, and they have never hidden it. Sometimes they kill somebody and take his phone, and call the family members, use that person's phone and call the family members and tell them that we have killed your loved one, but you cannot find his body. That's how daring these people are. So I don't know where the present government got its report that the headers are not the ones killing. But when the headers themselves have never denied to charge the government. That is what religious leaders do. They are not in government. They do not control the resources of the state. Their job is to give that support, that moral, that support, and then serve as the conscience of the government. And if you are derailing, they will tell you you are doing well here to try to dilute what the bishop said by insinuating that he might have said that many years ago, and that was so ridiculous for anybody to begin to attempt to do that.
Okay, but you mentioned something really worth thinking about, the fact that we should not politicize these issues, because I think at the end of the day what everyone wants is peace, and for people to live peacefully wherever they are residing. But let's move ahead to something else this morning, which is the relocation of the local government tribunal to Abuja, and which the Benue State government has come out to say we are not aware. There has been a lot of back and forth about this issue as well.
Well, but in the end, the tribunal actually relocated to Abuja, and just yesterday we got reports that the tribunal, the lawyers at that court, at the sitting of the tribunal in Abuja, the NBA House, came out and spoke to journalists and said that their lordships had received an injunction stopping the tribunal from sitting in Abuja, and that they were relocating back to Makurdi, which is that is a matter for the judiciary. The tribunal went to Abuja, claiming insecurity, that their safety was not guaranteed in Benue State. And of course, you remember the sharp sand that was poured at the entrance of the High Court of Benue State, and the thugs that were Makurdi here. So the tribunal had all the causes, had cause to relocate, because when I was being trained as a journalist, I was told that no story is worth dying for. That if any report terminates you, if you carry out that report, drop it. Sorry. So I think it's the same when I felt that their security was no longer, even though their assurances came belatedly, But be that as it may, this is a matter for the judiciary, and I expect that the judiciary will fend for itself. They know what to do. They are men and women of the law.
Look at this story. Senator Natasha returns to Senate, refuses to stand for Akpabio, as Senate throws out a petition against Senate President. Let's not also forget that just some days ago we were celebrating the International Women's Day. And, a lot of people are saying, we at this point are saying we want to stand for women's rights. We want to do what is right when it comes to women's rights. What do you think this portends for that sector?
It's quite an unfortunate development that shouldn't occupy our space, the media space at this time that Nigeria is battling with economic. And I am not saying that she was harassed is not an important issue. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that the red chamber of this country, the National Assembly in general, is a place where serious decisions are expected to be taken. And for that matter to occupy the time and space of the National Assembly for almost 2 weeks now, if not more, it's quite unfortunate. And I just pray that this matter is settled as quickly as possible, so that the Senate President, Senator Akpabio, will also concentrate on his very important role as the number 3 man, as the chairman of the National Assembly, to be able to galvanize legislation to save Nigerians, to help Nigerians to overcome the challenges that the country is facing, be it in economy, be it in security, and so on. So this matter is before the courts now, and Senator Natasha has gone to court to challenge the decision of the Senate in suspending her for 6 months. Whatever we say now will not be relevant because the matter is in court, and we may even be trying to preempt
yes,
what the lordships will be able to come up with. So I'm going to recall Senator Natasha, she should be in the Senate especially, to look at the issues that are more important for Nigeria at this time, and let our lawmakers concentrate on their job. And I watched the video of Senator Akpabio's wife coming out to support her husband. So you see, the husband of Natasha went by his wife, and both of them stood before the cameras and hugged and kissed themselves before they went into the. So see, it's becoming a drama of sort. It's becoming a comedy of sort. And that's why I said that this matter deserves to end, and end now. Let our lawmakers go to where we want it to be, even though it's coming back marginally. Dangote and NNPCL are still playing that cat and mouse, that hide and seek game. We want to see that President Tinubu succeeds in revamping the economy. He is the leader of this country now. So whether anybody likes it or not, he is there for a 4-year mandate that he deserves all that he can get in form of support to be able to fulfill his promises to Nigerians. That's what should bother us at this moment.
All right, so we are going to take another paper now, but just to tell you that there's more you can check out on the paper, the Agate newspaper. So you just go to www.agateradiotv.com and see for yourself more on that paper. But let's move ahead now. Let's take the Punch newspaper this morning. So at the Punch newspaper, the banner headline says, Presidency, defection to SDP. Presidency, APC knock El-Rufai, dismissed threat to unseat Tinubu. Ex-Governor Atiku meet again. Aggrieved PDP, APC bigwigs may defect. El-Rufai eyes new coalition. And more top stories in the Punch this morning. Impeachment threat, Fuba. Dangote's refinery begin talks on Naira for crude contract. Soldiers rescue 75 civilians from Sambisa forest. Supreme Court to decide Anyanwu's removal as PDP secretary. APC Council chairmanship aspirant hacked to death in Lagos. And Oyetola Adeleke's commissioner's trade words over alleged 3.7 billion naira mismanagement. The banner headline this morning on El-Rufai's defection. That's the former governor of Kaduna State, who has reportedly defected to the Social Democratic Party, SDP. Now, he announced his defection on his verified Facebook page on Monday. And, of course, the APC National Vice Chairman, Dr. Salihu Lukman, has described El-Rufai's defection as too hasty. How would you describe it?
Well, I don't... If El-Rufai's defection is not that important, it's that unimportant, I wonder why the APC is bothering about it. This guy is no longer in government. He couldn't be screened to become a minister. He has been there for almost 2 years now. And if he defects to any political party and his defection is not that important, why would the ruling party be so bothered to even make a statement? They should have just overlooked it. And but for them to come out and say, well, it's good riddance to whatever, then it means they are concerned about El-Rufai. But you know, one thing you can give to El-Rufai is that he knows how to steer controversies, and he does that to his advantage. Whether you like it or not, you must notice him. And he has succeeded again in courting that attention which he wants to, and the presidency is also saying something. The APC, the ruling party, is saying something, so they have given El-Rufai the publicity that he was looking for. If I were to advise, they would have kept mute. Overlook, if you think this guy doesn't matter, overlook his defection. He's going to SDP. SDP is not innocent. We are talking about PDP. We are talking about APC. So why worry? Where was APC in the 2023 arrangement? I mean, election. How many votes did they get? So if this guy is going to APC,
SDP.
I mean to SDP. El-Rufai has raised a number of issues. He has said his target is, I don't know, he said this, I'm not quoting him directly, but the target of the meetings he has been making with the other people, Atiku has been mentioned here, concerned about what El-Rufai is saying. He said he has made private consultations. I mean, he has raised issues that the party is being run by people who have derailed from the original ideology of the party. I don't see, now I'm looking at this as a journalist, I don't see any mega party now. When the merger was made in 2013, I don't see any mega party coming now to do better.
So it means you do not believe that for people who say this will have significant implications on the political landscape in Nigeria.
No, but you know, political strikers,
yes,
like El-Rufai will always tell you where we are going is the best, because they want you to know that their decision is better. So expect them to say those kind of things. But I still see PDP and APC as the forces that will dominate 2027. Take this from me, because now that merger, look at the people who are going to, the names that are already El-Rufai has moved.
Yes.
Other people are being mentioned. Atiku is mentioned here. Some people are mentioned here. Even in Benue here, some names are mentioned. I don't want to mention them. But if you look at those names who are being mentioned, they are going to be strange bedfellows. Strange bedfellows.
And some people say it's even sounding like you are aggrieved in one party and you move together to the next.
Absolutely. And before 2027, if that merger succeeds after all, before 2027, what may even begin to affect that merger will be the crisis of who gets what, who becomes the candidate of this part of the party in this state, who becomes the presidential candidate. Will an El-Rufai be willing to relinquish the flag? Yesterday I saw the former presidential candidate of the party of SDP welcoming El-Rufai, but already you see that there's going to be something there. Because when El-Rufai comes, as he's going there now, he will expect to be the determinant, the decider of all the things that will be happening in SDP. Meanwhile, those guys there will tell him, look, you were not here, but we competed. We put up a fight. We were there in 2023. So 2027, if that merger succeeds, I see a lot of issues springing up here and there in the states and at the federal level of who gets the presidential flag and who becomes the running mate. That will even be the crux of the disagreement, because these people who are coming they're not fresh to controversies. And you expect that if you put 10 people in a room and you do not appoint anyone as a leader will naturally emerge, because there are some people who have those instincts in them to try to dominate other people. So when you have, that's why I called them, they are going to be strange bedfellows, and it's going to metamorphose into something that will play in the hands of the PDP and the APC.
Okay, we'll be going on break shortly, but before we do that, let's take a look at the issues arising. Impeachment threat, Fubara vows to fight on as PDP wants weakest men. The permutations continue. Yeah,
the Rivers scenario is it has taken a turn now that Nigeria needs to be careful And because when rivers boils, the steam sprinkles on the rest of much of the oil of Nigeria is explored, is derived from River State. And already I'm beginning to hear some sounds of war there. And my prayer is that God should give President Tinubu and every other leader in this country to intervene in that matter and avoid a scenario that will pitch one ethnic group in that state against another. Because people are beginning to go sentimental from what I'm sensing from that. I went on social media in some groups in River State, and I saw the comments that are being peddled there are not really good. People are leaving the real issues of where Governor Fubara has got it wrong. And the Supreme Court has spoken. The Supreme Court cannot be wrong, because that is the highest court of the land. And the justice system is blind. It doesn't look at people's faces. So if the Supreme Court said, you got it wrong here, you did wrong here, so go and do this, go and do this, I expect that the governor will not whip sentiments. I read his statement yesterday, and he was speaking like that populist leader whom the people are behind. And he was saying Rivers people will come out of this stronger. I don't think that should be the statement that will be coming up, because that statement is it's kind of whipping up sentiment of they want. I don't think former Governor Nyesom Wike is a man I have. I know for some issue of sentiment that people are trying to play up the ethnic card that the Queres have. I watched somebody yesterday that the Queres, the upland, Odile is upland, Amechi is upland, Wike is upland, Omehia upland. This is the first time a riverine person is governor. But who made it happen? It's Nyesom Wike.
Okay, let's
hold. So how is Wike an enemy of the jobs? It's not.
Let's make you hold that thought. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back on Newspaper Headlines Review. Don't go away.
Keep watching Agate Television.
Keep watching Agate Televisions.
Big shout out to Agate Television, Sky's your limit.
Keep watching Agate Television.
Keep watching Agate Television, one of the best in the whole city of Makurdi. Peace.
Hello, my people. Keep watching Agate Television. Watch out for more.
Agate Television. We love you.
Special shout out to Agate Television.
Agate Television, you're the best. Shout out. Peace.
Shout out to Agate Television. I love you. You're the best.
Best channel, all the fun, the live shows, the best of the best you can get.
Agate TV, one of the best rising televisions in North Central Nigeria, which everybody should actually look out for.
Keep watching Agate Television.
Keep watching Agate Televisions.
Big shout out to Agate Television, Sky's your limit.
Keep watching Agate Television.
Keep watching Agate Television, one of the best in the whole city of Makurdi. Peace.
Hello, my people. Keep watching Agate Television. Watch out for more.
Agate Television. We love you.
Special shout out to Agate Television.
Agate Television, you're the best. Shout out. Peace.
Shout out to Agate Television. I love you. You're the best.
Best channel, all the fun, the live shows, the best of the best you can get.
Agate TV, one of the best rising televisions in North Central Nigeria, which everybody should actually look out for.
Welcome back to Agate Newspaper Headlines Review, and it's good to have you join us back on the program this morning. We have been looking at some papers and news making the headlines. Don't forget, you can join the conversation this morning. Follow Agate Radio TV 1 on Facebook. You can also follow us on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and join the conversation. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. And back in the studios, we also have our analyst here with us, Teve Kase. Before the break, we were talking about the situation in Rivers State. I know you had so much to say before we took the break. So let's continue on that touch.
Yeah, I was saying that if some people in Rivers State want to blackmail Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, they are accusing him. I think they should remember that since 1990 emerges as the governor of Rivers State, and he did it. Others before him couldn't do it, but he did it. So he has been fair to the Ijaw nation. And if anyone wants to blackmail Wike now, it's quite sad. They are forgetting to look at the issues that have come up there, and the Supreme Court has rightly waded into this matter and told Governor Fubara that you did wrong. You did wrong here. You did wrong here. And already the Rivers Assembly, why raise tensions now? I saw a video of some militants, whatever happens, that they would destroy oil installations. I don't think that should be what should occupy our people in Rivers State at the moment. They should leave sentiments aside. The wrong thing was just population. And that is against the Constitution. So the Supreme Court has said, go back and do the needful. Restore the House of Assembly members, and the local government, another local government election should be conducted. These are things that... so I expect His Excellency Governor Fubara to look at the fact that no matter the sentiments that are being played now, Wike did him good and did the governor of the state for the first time. He had the opportunity. If he wanted, he would have made another Ikwere person, the governor, to succeed him. But he didn't do that. He zoned the thing to Ijaw and made one of them. So I don't think Wike is the enemy.
All right.
He is not.
Okay, so much to say. I know this is not the last we've heard of this, so we'll definitely follow up. Now let's take a look at the story. Soldiers rescued 75 civilians from Sambisa forest. So the troops of Operation Hardenkai have rescued 75 civilians from Sambisa forest as part of clearance operation.
Well, this story keeps going on and on and on and on. And each time I'm in my quiet moment, I pray for our security agencies. They have been really overstretched in the northeast. At a point, they are winning the war. But for a long time, the Nigerian military, both land and air, and we just pray that they will succeed, keep on of Sambisa issues, of terrorists coming from there to attack our people in Borno State. The presidency knows it has a job on its hands, and the best thing to do is to keep supporting our security agencies, fund them well, provide logistics, buy modern day weapons of war for them to be able to win, to emerge victorious from the war against terror in this country, and not just in the northeast. We have it in the North Central here, and that's why the North Central Commission was established, following the clarion call by my principal, the former immediate past governor of Benue State, and other good-spirited Nigerians from this region who joined the North Central Commission, Development Commission, to be established to fix the problem, to fix the ruin of what has happened in Benue State, in parts of Nasarawa State, in Taraba, and elsewhere, because some of us were brought to Benue State, because this is where the main problem is. If you go to parts of Benue, herdsmen have caused havoc. Billions, property worth billions of naira have been destroyed, and But I just hope wherever the commission is located, I hope the commission will know that Benue is on the front burner of that development, because this is where the much of the destruction has happened. And the presidency of Buhari promised 10 billion, which we never saw. And how I wish the commission begins from there. The federal government releases that money, number one, for the commission to be able to begin to fix the problem of the ruins, the destruction that has happened in parts of Benue and Nasarawa, Taraba, not much of Kogi, parts of Niger State and so on.
All right, so let's move ahead to the next paper this morning. Blueprint newspaper. We have APC Shehu Sani to El-Rufai. We aren't losing sleep. Party stronger without you. I joined SDP to provide alternative leadership. El-Rufai. Defection ill-timed, says Lukman. And we also have troops rescue 75 hostages from Sambisa terrorist hideout. Impeachment looms as lawmakers Sean Fubara peace talk. APC gives 48-hour quit notice. House issues arrest warrant on RVSIEC chair, 4 others. And NOA, the National Orientation Agency, DG, charges government agencies on effective policy communication. So there has been, this talks of the policies are there but not effectively communicated. What do you think?
Yeah, that's why it is important to empower agencies like the National Orientation Agency to do what they should be doing. They have not been visible as much as what MAMSA did in the years of General Ibrahim Babangida. I remember when Jerry Ghana was the head of MAMSA in those days. We were kids, but we could hear, we could see, even in the villages, we could get pamphlets, we could get handbills of government policies on what the government of Babangida was doing. And that's why even though the structural adjustment program failed and of course took Nigeria to some of the problems that we have today, that policy too was communicated effectively by MAMSA in those days. And Nigerians knew what the government was doing. So if NOA is saying this, it is right, but what is the agency itself doing? You have to suggest, propose, send memo through your minister to the Federal Executive Council for the budgetary allocation to NOA to be increased, so that you embark on massive sensitization and orientation of Nigerians. This issue of tax reforms that the federal government had to resign some of its decisions and so on. If that policy was well communicated, I believe that Nigerians wouldn't have raised against it the way they did, especially in the northern part of this country. But the policy was not well communicated. And it's because of agencies like NOA who are not well funded. And this is nothing to do with the Tinubu administration. Over the years, the NOA, for instance, has not been well funded. And you don't expect them to visit a state or their state office to go to rural communities and begin to sensitize people using their fuel in their cars. You have to fund them. You have to give them money to publish, to print material, to sensitize people, to go on radio programs, go on television programs, do even community projection of activities of government. I remember in those days, some churches, the evangelical movement will come from Boko, for instance, to our community with a projector and show us what Jesus Christ did in his lifetime and the challenges he had and how he saved mankind. And those images of the projector are still fresh in my memory. These are things that, yes, we are in the digital age now.
Right.
So the times have moved. Now the NOA and other agencies of government in terms of communication can adopt the modern strategies of using social media, using if you go to the Ministry of Information website, you may be surprised. You may not find many things there. Go to the NOA website, if they have one, you may not find enough information. So This is quite important that government should look into and do, so that when the people are properly informed about government policies, it is easier to lead the people when they are informed. You educate the people, inform them, tell them this is what government is planning. And even from the grapevine, is a term in journalism, in media. Government uses grapevine sometimes. Government releases information unofficially,
Yes.
and waits to see the reaction of the public. And if the public is good with that information, then the government goes ahead. So I think the call is fine.
All right. Away from that paper, we also have the Nigerian News Direct, and talking about security in Nigeria. Nigeria more secure under Tinubu, says federal government. Over 8,000 criminals eliminated, 10,000 rescued from abductors. Then Ogun State, NAV partner to improve security aviation development. Frequent downward review of petroleum products prices should be regulated to curb losses. Petroan urges federal government. Students block Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, demand justice for missing LASU graduate. We also have the story on El-Rufai, also in News Direct. Nigerian News Direct this morning. El-Rufai resigns from APC, joins SDP, vows to unite opposition for 2027 elections. Nigeria crude sale, we have not stopped supply to Dangote refinery, says NNPC Limited. But the banner headline, Nigeria more secure under Tinubu federal government. Over 8,000 criminals eliminated, 10,000 rescued from abductors.
Well, this is contentious. This is arguable. But I will give the President Tinubu administration a pass mark as far as security is concerned. Generally, the government of Tinubu has tried in addressing security. When the president of Miyetti Allah Kautahore came to Nasarawa and formed a militia, the presidency did not hesitate in ordering for his arrest. And as soon as he was arrested, there was quiet in Nasarawa. So that is being proactive. But since the government of Benue State has not found it necessary to honor that, I will make the appeal on behalf of the people that whoever is listening to this broadcast should relay this information to Mr. President, that Benue communities are not sleeping with their eyes closed. And the presidency needs to know that they may not be told the truth, that there is relative peace in Benue State. Yes, a few local governments are not being attacked at the moment, but to say there is relative peace, I've been asking the meaning of relative peace. Now, President Tinubu is doing well in terms of security. Mr. President, Benue is not yet at peace. And the federal authorities, the federal government, the security agencies need to know that our communities are being attacked by herdsmen. And something needs to be done. The president is proactive, and if he gives the directive that security should be stepped up in Benue, it will be stepped up, because the government of this state has refused to tell them that. That is why each time I watch His Excellency the Governor address the press at the presidential villa, I expect him to say, look, my people are not sleeping with their eyes closed, but I am trying, but I have come to brief Mr. President, and I expect something will be done. Instead of saying that we have people are no longer attacked, people are no longer killed, people are no longer, I don't think that narrative is correct at all. And my appeal to His Excellency the Governor is to realize the magnitude of the challenges that our people are facing, and let's have pity on those who are at the flash points, especially the border communities. You go to Kum, you go to Kwande, you go to Gwe West, who border Nasarawa, and all this other Guma, you go to those communities who share borders with the other states. These are the flash points, and everything needs to be done to help our people to go back to their farms and go back to their ancestral homes as the government of the state promised.
Okay, so on that note, would move ahead to touch on the Guardian newspaper this morning. Consumers groan as data depletion, exploitation complicate telecom's tariff hike. Now, the big question there is, how much internet data do you use at the moment? Do you even know that?
I do not know. I have no idea. And sometimes I just get an alert of a deduction from my account, my data account, or my money account in terms of airtime that have been charged for a service I did not apply for. So it's quite it's an issue. Again, it's an issue that the federal government needs to look into. In other countries, you subscribe for calls for 1 month, and within that 1 month, you are not billed any extra charges. You can make calls for a whole day if you want. That is the kind of thing we should begin to look to attract here, because already there are other challenges in terms of energy, in terms of food prices, and so on. So to add to those challenges is really too much on Nigerians. But the presidency has said we will get to the bottom line. We will see the what our people call made in China. So I believe what they are saying, and I want to trust the process of revamping the economy and making Nigerians to feel better, beginning with energy, the energy sector, where petroleum products, the prices of petroleum products will go down far below where they are now. And if possible, the federal government should open up the space for more investors to come in, like it happened in the telecom sector, where NITEL had the monopoly in those days, but the telecom sector was deregulated. I mean, the deregulation took place in that sector, and we now have many GSM companies fighting for our time and our space, and thereby we're better for it. So I expect this sector to be further looked into. The issue of arbitrary charges on Nigerians, on consumers, are becoming too much. And if something is done, I believe Nigerians will be better for it.
Okay, so let's just touch on sports before we go. Punch Sports, that is, and we have Shele set to name Eagles' final squad. Aruna faces Chinese Chinquin at WTT tourney. And then, can I give you a hug? Is the better headline. Lukman Gasperini is set to rift after Juventus win. Nigerian to be named among Atalanta captains.
Yeah, that's the settlement of the coach of Atalanta and the Nigerian striker Ademola Lookman is good news, because no matter how you look at that situation, it was also going to affect Ademola's game. You know, so when your coach is not in good terms with you, it affects your game, whether you like it or not. So it's good to hear that they have made for their differences. They have reconciled, and the coach said he didn't mean what was interpreted when he criticized Ademola for being the worst penalty taker ever. So that was quite unfortunate. But now that they have come back to good terms, it's good for Ademola. And on Chele, the coach of the Super Eagles, this is a litmus test for him. If he gets it right, winning against Rwanda and the other game, then Nigerians will begin to trust him, because as we said here the other time, he is the first coach of African origin who is not a Nigerian to manage the Super Eagles. So all the expectations are on him. If he does well, then he will open the space for fellow Africans who will have the opportunity of coming to Nigeria to coach the Super Eagles someday.
I know you never get tired of talking about sports, but we'll leave it there today on Newspaper Headlines Review. You can join us again next Tuesday morning when we're back here doing the simulcast and on our radio and television. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Davia Akasi, for joining us today.
It's my pleasure again.
Have a wonderful day. My name is Shido Taka.